Good day, everyone, and welcome back to the Splathouse Fiction YouTube channel. We're going to be playing Scarlet Hollow again today, again very generously donated by somebody very lovely, Bunny. Bunny, if you're watching this, I love you, honey. Now, before we go any further, I feel it's very pertinent to mention that I was sick last week, and I'm still kind of recovering, so you can probably hear it in my voice. I do apologize, everybody, for the delay in content, but man, seasonal allergies are absolutely no joke. In case you missed it last time, you can go view our previous playthrough of Scarlet Hollow in the included playlist. But we're going to pick right back up where we left off, talking to Stella, somebody who wanted us to follow them to the diner. The pleasant aroma of greasy breakfast food hangs heavy in the air. In contrast with the empty, lifeless atmosphere of the family estate, the diner is filled with the comforting din of human life. All of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. I think the appropriate thing to do would be to just slide into a booth. You slide into the nearest booth, pretending that you didn't notice everyone in the diner gawking at you like they'd just seen Bigfoot. No need to be shy. They don't meet many strangers. It's kind of a big deal when someone wanders into town. Especially since, well, they probably all know what you're here for, and by extension, who you're related to. Even if you don't know anybody, it's not easy keeping secrets in a town this size. Keen eye. As you settle into the booth, you can't help but pick up some of the murmurs of the conversation around you. You know what? Let's listen in. Stella turns to Gretchen while you take a quick look around the diner. At the counter, two policemen and a woman you assume to be the owner shoot sidelong glances in your direction while whispering to each other. That must be Vivian's kid. Never thought we'd actually meet them. Looks so much like her. Oh yeah, those eyes are unmistakable. That haunted look. I always thought it'd go away once she finally got out of this town, but I guess unhappiness was baked into her DNA. A young mother and her syrup-stained child sit at the table across from you. Mommy, who's that? Don't stare, Tulip. That must be Miss Tabitha's cousin. Oh, so that's why they look so sad. I would look sad too if I had to have Miss Tabitha as a cousin. Do you think Tabitha's cousin is mean too? I don't know. I'll find out next time I go visit Miss Tabitha. Are you going to finish your pancakes? They're almost cold, Sweet Pea, and we've got to get home to help Daddy. In the far back corner, a man sits alone at a small table, sipping coffee and reading a paper. Why are strangers who wander into town never gorgeous blonde ladies of an appropriate age? Why is it always coal boys, punks, and whippersnappers? You know, me too, Grandpa. I do like my ladies a tad mature, I gotta agree. Lastly, a group of coal miners sit hunched around the corner booth, readily scarfing down heaping plates of food. What do you think? Another youngin' looking for mine work? No way. They clearly ain't got the stomach for it. They gotta be the boss's cousin. There's that funeral this week, if I'm remembering right, for old Miss Pearl Ann. May she rot in peace. Oh, let the lady rest, Lloyd. One shouldn't speak ill of the dead, no matter how foul they were, especially before they've been so much as laid to rest. If you've ever been around her in her heyday, you'd be speaking ill too, Tommy. He's right. Nastiest woman I ever met. That Tabitha is a blessing compared to her. Curse the whole lot of them. May every Scarlet burn in hell. Wow, guys, I just got here. That's enough of that. Hey, Stella, I went ahead and fixed you up a coffee. They gracefully place a cup of specially brewed coffee in front of Stella. Aw, shucks. Thanks, Avery. And here's some bacon for the little lady. Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Tip, you can hit the H button on your keyboard to hide the text box at any time. You know what? Yeah, I want to see the goofy dog. Oh, my goodness. Anything for you? We get to offer everybody we meet these freaking peanuts. I have a feeling that's going to come in handy at some point. Let's see here. You know what? Let's go with explore. Isn't bacon bad for dogs? Gretchen's like one of those 110-year-old ladies who's had a daily glass of wine her whole life. So why stop now? Maybe it's been the secret to her longevity. Anyways, don't worry. I always keep an eye on her diet. And we make sure I only give her the leaner cuts. I gotta go in a sec. Want anything while I'm still here? Yeah, actually, let's get a biscuit and a coffee. That's kind of my daily morning routine anyways. Could I have biscuit and a coffee, please? I heard they were really good. Best in the county. Avery pours the fragrant brew into your cup in front of you. They linger after pouring your coffee, turning to you nervously. Oh, and, I'm sorry for your loss. Stella and Avery have been the nicest people since we got here. Before you have the chance to respond, they're gone. Glad you took my advice with the biscuit. You won't regret it. Anyways, the funeral's not till Sunday, right? That gives you quite a bit of time to slum around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. There's always that reading adventure at the library, which is supposed to be for little kids, but I do it every month anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Avery's throwing a party Saturday night, so that's a fun thing to look forward to. And there's weekly Sunday potluck. That should be right after the funeral, too, so it'll be a special occasion. Isn't a potluck like a church thing? No, that's not true. Here in the South, we have, like, specific dinners that we go to on Sunday. Potlucks just kind of are a community thing, so I already know the answer to that. Let's just say cool. Sounds neat. Maybe I'll check out some of these things. Anyway, those are all big events I can think of. As for the day-to-day, any idea how you want to kill time for the rest of the week? Okay, Keen Eye and Street Smart both are kind of the same question, but Keen Eye seems nicer. Street Smart is good, but it comes across as, like, very paranoid, and we don't want to go with that. Something's telling me this is a loaded question, and you've got something in mind. Was I being that obvious? My job means I spend a lot of time in the woods with a camera, and it's always better when someone else is there too. Before Stella can finish, Avery returns with biscuits in tow. Here's your biscuit. Winnie says it's on the house. She sends her condolences. Oh, thanks, Winnie. Okay, so the first two here again are pretty much the same thing, but I'm always trying to excuse myself and apologize for existing, so we're going to go with you didn't have to do that. No worries. Hope you enjoy it. You pick up the biscuit. It's delicate and fluffy. It nearly crumbles at your touch. Buttery warmth emanates from the surface. You take a bite, and it melts in your mouth as if it was nothing but butter suspended in a thin matrix of dough. That's a good biscuit. Truly, this is a perfect biscuit, actually. Let's go with whoa. This is a really good biscuit. Wow. I'm so glad you like it. Avery lingers at the table a moment. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Haha. Oh, Avery, I'm not famous. Look, if you're not going to go around tooting your own horn, you got to know that I'm going to be doing it for you. And I apologize for the ambient scratching noises you're hearing. That is my cat running around and causing havoc as ever because it's daylight hours and they've decided to torment me. Stella sighs. I'm a YouTuber. Damn, twins. Wait, what? What kind of videos do you do? You know what? I think we're going to do what kind of videos do you do? Cool. What kind of videos do you do? She hunts cryptids. You should really check out her channel, Jack. It's amazing. Wait, how do you know my name? Oh, sorry. It's just that most people in town know about you. Sorry, I'm sure it must have seemed creepy. Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. The Holler's a small place. Everybody knows everybody, and that includes extended family. Yeah, no. Like, in a town this small, that kind of figures. I'm from a very, very small town as well. And when we have, like, a new family move in or something, everybody's out there with their lawn chairs and their binoculars, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, it's all good. I was just caught a little off guard. Phew, glad I didn't freak you out too much. Yeah, and don't worry, nothing Pearl Ann said about you'll stick. That's for sure. You can just make a good first impression and wipe the slate clean with the whole town. I think I'm going to let my little kitty out real quick. And we're back. I apologize for that momentary jump cut. I have three cats, Bat Cat, Luna, and Selena, named after Selena Kyle because of Bat Cat. And they either are sleeping or running around at max fur missile speed, so sometimes on occasion they just want to be a nuisance. But hopefully we can keep playing without too many more interruptions. Let's see. We're just gonna stay quiet. Ah, geez. Look, I'm sorry I said anything. Hey, I'm sure this is all mortifying, but don't worry about it. Really. Pearl Ann was a gossip and would do this sort of thing with everyone. Spreading weird little rumors about folks was kind of her trademark. Anyways, we're in the middle of talking about Stella's illustrious YouTube career. Sigh, I guess we were, weren't we? I think the best video to start with would be the river one. Not the lake, but you know, the controversial one. Oh yeah, the Catawba River Runner. I didn't expect much out of that footage at the time, but it wound up being my most popular video by far. So, the River Runner is a cryptid that's only known for a single sighting. Two Boy Scouts thought they saw something big and weird in the Catawba River, and that's all I had to go on. But then I wound up catching this on camera. Stella pulls out her phone and shows you a clip of something in the river. Despite the shaky camera footage, you can clearly make out the shape of the creature's head and its relative body proportions. You're pretty sure it's a cat, and a big one at that. Some folks said it was a beaver, but if that was the case, it'd be at least twice the size of any beaver I've seen. I also had people saying it was a dog or even a capybara that must have escaped from the local wildlife sanctuary. I'm still not sure what it was, and I'm the only one who saw the thing with my own two eyes. Catawba River, huh? Wait one moment. Isn't that... Oh, that's in South Carolina. No wonder I've heard about that. Oh, let's not be mean to Stella. I think we're gonna have to lie. No, don't do... Well, yeah, we'll go ahead and do it's a big cat. It looks like a big cat. See? It's got one of those little kitty cat ears right there. Maybe it's a mountain lion. No, no way. It's absolutely not a mountain lion. There are no mountain lions this far east. That's incorrect. We have had mountain lions in North Carolina before. They're extremely rare, but they have on occasion been spotted along some of the mountains that are west of me. I did a whole video on the Appalachian mountain lion myth and found Jack Squat. No, that's incorrect. And there's no reason one would be swimming in the river like this. They're not fans of water. They need water to live. And the body is too long. No way. Personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. Sure, it's not like any local sanctuaries are missing one, but there's always people keeping exotic animals as pets. Kind of like a sewer gator type situation. Ha! Exactly. Some exotic pet owner set it free, and now it will forever roam the Catawba, confusing Boy Scouts and YouTube commentators for years to come. You know, honestly, if I saw a capybara as I was out in the woods, I think that would scare me more than a cryptid, because what the hell is a capybara doing in North Carolina? So, speaking of things to do around town, I was actually planning on filming this week's video tonight. I was wondering if maybe you'd want to come along. It's a pretty easy one this week. We wouldn't even need to camp anywhere. I'm gonna go after the... Wait, no spoilers. Whoops, sorry Avery. It's okay, I should probably get back to work instead of standing around chatting with friends. See y'all around. I like Avery, they're sweet. Now that the coast is clear, I'm going after the skunk ape. This is another southern cryptid I've heard about before. Isn't that just the worst Bigfoot? It's definitely one of the lizard ape type cryptids, and one of the smellier according to some sources. They say you should be able to smell it before you see it. I don't know about you, but I find the idea of discovering something previously unknown to be excitement enough, even if it's just the worst Bigfoot. Most skunk ape sightings are from Florida, but while I was doing research for last week's video, I came across a report where a lady from a town over claimed to have seen one in her deck playing tug of war with her dog. There was a report of a skunk ape in my area, and the lady fed it a blueberry muffin, which is the funniest thing I think I've heard in a while. And as I leave no stone unturned, I decided it was worth investigating. So what do you say? You want to tag along? Hold the camera for me while I narrate it against a darkening sky, that sort of thing? That depends. Will Gretchen be there? I kind of like that. Man, we get that remain silent option a lot. We might have to do a playthrough or we're just completely quiet. That depends. Will Gretchen be there? Of course. It's actually been a while since I've had anyone but Gretchen out there with me. Say no more. I'm in. I'm doing it for the dog. Look at her. Look at her sweet face. How could I say no to that? This is going to be a lot of fun. I actually started the channel with a couple of buddies of mine back in middle school, so it'll be kind of like a blast from the past. Me and Kanika and Reese running around in the woods, flipping over rocks and bothering some salamanders. Our videos were terrible, but we had a lot of fun, and that's all that mattered to us. Quite frankly, yeah, like when it comes to ghost hunting and that kind of thing, I think it's more important that you're enjoying the process, you're getting out, you're in nature, that's kind of the point, right? You know, that got me thinking. I wonder if they'd be down to come along with us, get the old gang back together. Though I guess Kanika has to close out the general store tonight, so I'm pretty sure she's a no-go. But Reese, I think there's a decent chance we could get him to come out of his hidey hole if he's up for it. You mind if I make a quick call? Do you mind if I make a call? It pulls out phone anyways. Reese, dude, what's up? Feels like it's been forever. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want me to come by, or... Okay, if you're really sure, but if you change your mind... Oh, I was just calling if you wanted to come out, hang out in the woods tonight. Met somebody cool in town today. They're Tabitha's cousin. I know, yeah, just here for a week. Anyway, we're going out to look for the skunk ape. We could take easier trails if that would help. Dang, man, that sounds awful. I hope you take it easy tonight. I'll swing by sometime this week and we can have more low-key hang. How's that? Yeah, I'll bring them. Talk to you soon. Bye, bud. Looks like it's just you and me, pal. Is he okay? He's not feeling well, that's all. He had a lot going on in the past. Gosh, 10 years or so. But it feels like it's gotten a lot worse recently. I can't remember the last time I saw him leave his house. Oh, well. It's not my place to talk about it, really. I just got him a little excited thinking about having him along again. He's hilarious and you'd love him. We should swing by his place sometime this week. We'll see. I don't know how much I should commit to doing this week. That's fair. But if you find you have the time, he'd love to meet you, and I think you'd get along. But we can talk about making friendship plans later. For now, we've got a skunk ape to hunt. So, we should probably head out if we want to make it up the mountain before dark. Come on, let's blow this popsicle stand. You pause before getting up. Maybe it's time to make a good first impression. After all, everyone in town seems to have heard awful things about you from your now deceased aunt. Jesus. Leave a generous tip. Always tip your service workers, people. If you can't afford to tip, then you don't need to go out, especially in America. You reach into your pocket and pull out a crumpled $5 bill. You know it's a bit more than one would expect to get from such a short dining experience, but you might as well share the wealth while you've got it. You smooth out the bill before placing it on the table inconspicuously. Oh, that's awesome of you. Avery will appreciate that, I'm sure. Stella turns to leave the diner with you following close behind. It hadn't been very cold when you first arrived in town, but as the sun dips closer and closer to the horizon, a chill descends upon the hollow, and you see your situation with renewed clarity. You're in a new place, far from civilization and the people you know, following someone you just met into a dark forest in search of monsters. You feel. I don't think I would really be bothered by that. That sounds pretty fun. I don't know about more alive than I've been in years. I've had a rather interesting life, so we'll go with strangely calm. The setting sun paints beautiful colors in the sky, fresh air fills your lungs, and pleasant songs of crickets trill around you as night descends. This is where you're supposed to be, with Stella by your side, a sweet smile on her face, and Gretchen plodding along in front without a care in the world. Gotta love the brisk fall weather. The past summer was the hottest on record. Since last year, at least. Yep, that tends to happen a lot here in the South. You know how it is these days. Each summer is the hottest yet until the next summer, which always finds a way to be so much worse. It's just nice to feel a chill in the air and see the leaves change, like normalcy is restored, if only for a moment. Sorry if that was a bit of a bummer. We could talk about something more fun, like skunk apes. You were on one, girl. You were ready to find this thing. Has anything bad ever happened on these hikes? Let me think. There was that one time back in early high school where Reese fell down a cliff. But he was fine. We had some folks in town rig up a pulley to get him out of the ravine, and his leg only took a couple months to heal. All in all, not too bad. Though I guess there was also that time I was out here alone and kinda got stuck in a cave. I was getting great footage of what I thought was a family of wampus cats, but I wasn't able to wiggle my back out. Turns out that the wampus cats were actually skunks who very much did not appreciate me blocking the entrance to their hidey hole. And instead of running for help, Gretchen just sat outside bored to tears. Lassie, she is not. And it took about an hour to get loose, which was pretty intense, but a few tomato juice baths later I was right as rain. So, could have been a lot worse. Oh, and there was that time I accidentally stumbled into Old Duke's property and nearly got my head shot off. But that happens to everybody sooner or later. I barely count it. So yeah, these hikes aren't all that dangerous, all things considered. Let's see here. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen out here? Other than cryptids, of course. Oh gosh, that's a good one. Well, there's always the deer I saw stealing baby birds out of a nest and eating them. That was pretty messed up. Yep, deers do that. Horses too. But I think most people know about these days. I've seen tons of video of other deers doing it, so I'm not sure if that counts as weird anymore. Oh, and Tetanus Lake. That's definitely the weirdest. It's a 5-foot deep, 30-foot wide pile of old cans and bottles and assorted garbage with grass and trees growing on it, so you could barely tell it was there until you stepped on it. It was practically solid ground with how much had been compressed, but you could still fall through if you weren't careful, hence the name. Better be up on your shots if you want to mess around in there. It's all stuff from the 50s too, which is super neat. I salvaged a few bottles that I keep on my dresser as a little souvenir. Yeah, I'm ready to get going. Did you hear that? Oh, calm down, Gretchen, you old mutt. Same to you, Stella. You're always jumping at nothing, girl. Phew, sorry for getting spooked, Duke. I thought you were some creature of darkness. Nah, girly, just old Duke. Hey, he's got the Duke Devil's hat on. Neat. Now what the hell are you looking for on your way out here? Skunk ape. Sorry I asked. And who's this you've got suckering into coming with you? Wait a tick. You aren't. Is that? Yep. I see. Welcome to the holler. My condolences. I'll keep you in my prayers. Another stranger, another opportunity for a salty introduction. Keep your peanuts to yourself. You once again remember the dripping bag of boiled peanuts you have on your person and briefly consider offering them to Duke before realizing that would probably be more of an insult than anything else. You keep them hidden away. Now both of y'all head on back to town, you hear? It's best you steer well clear of this area tonight. I'm out dealing with my critter. Wouldn't be too appreciative if a couple of fools with a camera scare away the more sensitive wildlife. What are you hunting tonight? Something tall and hairy. It's me, baby. Something musky? You seen anything like that recently? Wouldn't you like to know? You never could mind your own business, Stella Richmond. Put that damn camera down. Ah, come on, Duke. Maybe I could help out. I'm pretty good at tracking. You know I learned from the best. That you did. I have yet to see a shred of proof that you listen to any of it. The way you tromp around the woods at night yelling about chuckabongas or whatever have you. I like Duke. He's cool. He reminds me of my grandfather, actually. Something's getting at my chickens. I've lost 3 this week, and I can't afford to lose many more than that. I'm sorry to hear that. But I wonder if a skunk ape has a taste for chicken. Now see, this is why I don't come to you about all these things. It ain't no skunk ape, whatever the hell that is. I know exactly what it is, but I know you won't believe me if I tell you. Oh, Duke, you don't think it's... I do, actually. It's those damned mountain lions. They're out there, Stella. I don't care what your little investigation turned up. You haven't been out in these woods as long as I have. Those sons of bitches are sneaky, of course. You wouldn't find one in... oh, God, I'm having a stroke. Those sons of bitches are sneaky, of course. You wouldn't find one in any one night of tracking. I know for a fact that's what's been getting at my chickens. It couldn't be anything else. Could be a fox, Grandpa. I'm telling you, man, mountain lions are extinct in these parts. There hasn't been an actual sighting since the 1990s, and even those were iffy. I can't believe you'd go out on your YouTube saying some river monster spotted a couple of school-age Boy Scouts. It's been 100% confirmed. Yet Appalachian cougars are some kind of far-fetched fantasy made up by geezers like me. You made me look like a fool. I read those comments people were posting on your videos. They were calling me all kinds of names just for seeing things with my own eyes that I know to be true. I'm sorry, Duke. I didn't mean to sick anybody on you. I don't think it's plausible. You'll eat all those words when I come in carrying a mountain lion corpse out of those woods at dawn. And if you two don't want a face full of buckshot, I suggest you run home and stay out of the woods tonight. Yeah, we're gonna lie. Okay, we'll go home. What? Good, I'm glad you got some sense. Stella needs somebody like that around. But I've got to film tonight. The video needs to be out by tomorrow evening so I can keep on schedule. If I miss an update, I might lose my new sponsor, and who knows what that'll mean for my career. Wow, if Stella's already got a sponsor, her channel must be pretty huge. No, Stella, we should leave. We should leave, and we shouldn't come back. You turn around and wink at Stella subtly as you can. She immediately picks up what you're putting down. All right, Duke, maybe you've got a point. Come on, Jack, let's go back to town. Maybe my viewers won't be too angry with me. Glad to hear you're finally seeing some sense, Stella. You two run along now and stay safe. What? Duke hasn't done anything wrong. Like, he's just a freaking old southern fart that doesn't want to hurt anybody, and he wants to deal with what he thinks is a mountain lion. Like, that is every southern grandpa I have ever met. I completely agree with him, actually. Well played, Jack. Really threw him off the trail by pretending we're going back to town. Now, come on. I know we can loop around without him noticing. We're just going to follow her. The trail's up this way. Let's go. All right, this looks like a good shot. Mind holding the camera? She hands you the camera and takes position. Ahem. As night falls, my new assistant, the mysterious Jack, and I find ourselves on a high hill in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Oh, that's not that far from where I am. Neat. Where we'll begin our hunt for the elusive yet pungent skunk ape. Though mostly encountered in Florida, the possible relative of Bigfoot has been spotted all along the southeastern edge of the United States, including right in this very county. Here's hoping we get a glimpse tonight. We'll check back once we're on the trail. Until then, stay searching, Stellars. Oh, no, honey. Maybe that's the key to YouTube success. Maybe I need to, come up with, a weird name for all of you. Jack-offs. No, wait, fuck it. Okay, let me go back and, board that one out, and we'll figure something out, okay? I can take that camera off your hands for now. We'll be able to start the tracking scenes once the sun sets all the way. In the meantime, we get to take up all of this gorgeous scenery. And I think we're actually going to end it right here. I know this is a bit of a cliffhanger. I'm trying not to strain my voice from being sick, so I hope all of you have a wonderful day. And hey, if you're familiar with Blue Ridge and stuff like that, and you're watching this, tell me about your favorite cryptid down below. We've got a lot of crazy legends here in the South, and I would be absolutely delighted to hear what you come up with. Take care, everybody. I love you. Be good.